Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 8th grade concept of slope and y-intercept. This is standard 8.4C in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 25 off the Redesign Practice Online STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So Marin made an initial deposit into her savings account. Each month deposits the same amount into the savings account. The graph shows the linear relationship between X. So there we go. We've got our straight line. So X is the number of months. That's our X axis down there on the bottom. And then Y, the amount of money in the account. That's your Y axis across the side. So what is the amount that best represents Marin's initial deposit in dollars? So if we take a look at this, let's open up our graph draw feature, increase the transparency a little bit. There we go. If we take a look at that initial deposit that we're looking at right here, it just says Marin made an initial deposit. And that's all it says. And then that's the question, right? What is Marin's initial deposit? And so let's reset that. Let's draw that right there. What is the initial deposit? And all we have is this graph, right? When we're looking at a graph, we've got two different forms that we are looking at, right? So sometimes we're going to see this y equals kx. That is direct variation. And that means it is proportional. Proportional means we are going through the origin, and that is not happening here. Right? The origin is down here, and so that is not what we're looking at. So if we're not looking at direct variation, then most likely we are looking at slope-intercept. So this is the form that we are also very familiar with in 7th grade when we're looking at linear equations, slope-intercept. Right, so the slope right here is our m, right? And if we wanted to, I guess we could technically try to calculate this. It looks like we've got a point right there. Looks like we've got a 2, 1800. And then looks like we got a point right there that we might be able to capture as well. That looks like 6, 2700, right? So then we could do our slope if we wanted to, right? That's our change in y. Let's rise over run. Change in x, right? So our y is going to be, let's see, 2700 over 1800. Change in x is going to be 6 over 2. So that's 900 over 4, right? So then that's going to be, what is 900 divided by 4? That's going to be 2. There we go. Okay, so that's going to be 225. So y equals, so she's putting in 225 bucks a month. But what's the initial deposit? See, that B right there, that's this y-intercept. And that's exactly what we're looking for. So the y-intercept shows you that it's not proportional because it's not going through the origin. So if we're not going through the origin, where is this y-intercept? And that's it right there. So here's our y-axis, and it is meeting that right there, somewhere between 1200 and 1500. Looks like it's, let me increase the transparency so my grid lines go away here. Looks like it's like right in between. All right, so what's right in between 1200 and 1500? Well, that's 300 difference. Half of 300 is 150. So we're going to call that maybe 1350. All right, so an initial deposit of 1350, that would be your initial deposit because that's your y-intercept. That's what happens when x is 0. And there we go. We have it down there. Our answer here is C.